Hello, my Star Atlas brethren. It's me, MetaVerse Explorer. I'm back again on another episode to update you on what's happening in Star Atlas. I try to make a video every 2 days just to keep us updated because a whole bunch of stuff does get said in the Foundation room and sometimes people don't have access to it. So my job is to try and share this information to the rest of the community out there. This was just posted on the Star Atlas website, on the Twitter. It is the Calico Scud. If you guys hadn't gone ahead and claimed your ships, it looks good. It's a nice racer, and it's pretty good looking, I think. But I am a big fan of the Ogrika Niruch. So, this video, we're actually going to be talking about the picture of the week, as well as the Star Atlas episode 15, which is just released, which is the where the document they released on Medium for us to see what's the development of the game is actually up to. So without further ado, let's go over there. Let's have a look at the picture of the week, which is by Mikata-chan. Mikata-chan? It's like a Japanese. Yeah, look at this ATS Enforcer and a nice shot in front of it. Look at those two giant barrels. My God. It's really just a shame that we can't really utilize these two guns to its full potential. Why can't we do that? Because that is an oversized gun for a normal size power supply. The way it works is that you can access the full supply, the full capacity of your components if you have a power supply equal to that component of size. I might have butchered that. So and I might be wrong here, but the ATS Enforcer guns are like a capital class gun, right? Are they a capital class? Yeah, I think it's a capital class. It's not large, it's capital. But the power supply of the ATS Enforcer isn't a capital class. So your efficiency of that capital gun isn't going to be up here like a capital. It's going to be down here near the large or medium size of the power supply. If anything, it might be a little bit higher, but it won't be the same size as a capital class. So that's one of the things that really gets me. Like, people bought it thinking that, yes, it's a capital class gun, which is one of the reasons why I bought them. Like, yes, I would want this capital class gun. But then they came out later and said, no, it's not actually, you won't be able to use it as a capital class because your power supply isn't good enough to supply it. Typical Star Atlas, we buy things, we don't really know what they're going to be used for. The thing changes later on down the line. It just happens all the time. So for me, I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe I won't buy it because I don't fully know what it is going to be about later on. Now, I've got some also stuff from the Foundation room we're going to talk about, but we're first going to touch on the Star Atlas episode, issue 15, which was just released about, 10 minutes ago. So I was at my computer, I was like, hey, let's do a video, it's out, let's talk about it. So this is episode 15. Welcome to a fresh episode of Star Atlas Town Star. Oh, it's not the Town Star, it's something else. So they talked about 2022 last time, now it's 2023. Let's read on, let's see what they got for us. So of course, they do touch on a few things that they have released already, like the Calico Scud and the new release in claims that you can get from the claim stakes. Not the claim stakes, sorry, the CSS Hand Labs. The CSS Hand Labs. What are the CSS Land Habs? I mean, the CSS Land Habs. Oh my god, it's terrible. You have to have watched this video before. It's a pretty good video. It just shows you what the Showroom 2.1 expectations are for ground racing as well as flying. Love it, love it. All right, let's keep going all the way down. I've already gone through this document and I've highlighted the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So starting in R2.2, the game is getting competitive multiplayer ground racing. We kind of know this already, but we don't know when 2.2 is actually going to start because we have to get to 2.1 first, right? We're building an exciting racing track for you and 7 other friends to zoom through and blast each other in immersive landscape surrounding Volant Studio. So this is pretty awesome when you get to actually race against other people. I thought this would have come already, but it takes time for them to actually build all of this out. So we just have to wait until it gets here. I'm excited for that time where you can have tournaments upon tournaments upon tournaments. Bouts of 8 versus 8 versus 8 versus 8. Choose your best 8 races from Athea, 8 best races from Rome, 8 best races for Intergalactic Alliance, and then you go head to head in the tournament series and see who's going to win. Overall time is the best time. As one can observe in the video above, we hope to allow everyone to fly around Iron Man style as soon as 2.2. Now, I'm not going to get my hopes up on that at all because that doesn't improve on the gameplay elements we really want. Yes, sure, you'll be able to go from one place to another a little bit faster, and it looks a little bit cool, but it's not really what I want. I want that gameplay aspect. The racing is the gameplay aspect, something that you can do multiple times. Now, if they have this flying module already, maybe they can do some kind of flying race on top of it, right? Or let's say some kind of spectator. Imagine if they can combine the two. While you're racing on the ground, there's a flying race happening at the same time, and you have to observe or camera or record the race going across, and you have your own platforms, and it's going to be a race between it's going to be a challenge between trying to record the race as well as trying to make sure you don't fall off your platforms or something while you're flying across. So think about it like that. I'm talking about not the specific tools, but the gamification of it and making it actually fun to play, fun for people to record record a video and go and publish it, and people come and see it. So another thing they're working on at the moment is they're hoping to try and get 400 to 1,000 players in a single instance. And that one's going to be pretty huge. We're going to have to wait to see how that actually works out. They say they do have the infrastructure for this, and they're working on it by the high performance game servers. But yeah, this is way out of my depth when it comes to computer server maintenance. No idea. I feel like I'm losing my voice. Okay, so we did see some character stances before. I won't play them too much, but you've already seen this. It just looks about the different guns, the GAN gun, the GAN, what do you call it? Energy weapon. And then there was a shockwave weapon as well. We have seen a little mock-up of what they want Sage to look like. This is what the Oni CSS is. And this is a ship that we kind of theorized was something that hadn't been released yet. Let's go ahead and see what they first want to release in Sage, which is movement and the coordinate system. These are the other 6 things they want to release: combat, mining, crafting, inventory, and player progression. This will take a long time to actually get here. We're super late with Sage already, and they said, we can't release all of this stuff because we're just not ready. So we're just going to release one thing at a time, which is going to be at the start, movement and coordinate system. Now, how are they going to get you to go in Sage and do some movement? They're going to do a scavenger hunt, which is a good kind of idea. Even just a Halloween thing. I used to play Gaia Online and even Guild Wars 2, and they used to just have events. It's not to give you any financial incentive. It was just to make it fun. Go and find this commemorative NFT that's hidden somewhere there. But of course, the team did come across and say, yes, you might be able to find a tank ship that's worth $100,000. I don't honestly know how I feel about that. To know if I bought a $100,000 tank ship and to know someone in the Sage showroom is going to just go scavenging and exploring, and then they're going to go and find a ship that's worth $100,000, where I paid $100,000 for it. So really, is it saying the scavenger hunt is worth $100,000? Yeah, I don't know how I feel. I don't own a tank ship, so I'm not in this situation. But imagine that if you spent $100,000 on something and someone just goes and finds it. Would that make you happy? Not really. So I don't know. Financial incentive is good, but not too much financial incentive because the people will be upset. Anyway, this is what hopefully the proposal DAO space is going to look like. They've got 9 different stages for you: public interest, ideation, drafting, review, revisions, council approval, activation, voting, and then execution. So that's 9, I think. 3, 6, 9. Yes, that's right. So for us to pass anything, it's going to go through multiple different stages, right? And this is a good thing because we don't want stuff to pass that's just willy-nilly. We have to actively discuss it well enough and make sure we can implement it. And then after it's implementing it, after we activate it, we vote, and then we execute. And this is where all your Polis staking is going to come in, right? People might say here, in the Uster sectors, we want to implement a 2% flat tax rate on everything you do. And some people will be like, well, what do you mean everything? And then people will be like, oh, we actually meant warping and selling on the marketplace, whatever, right? And then people will come across and say, no, that's really stupid. Why are you doing that? what's the point? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to put money to the DAO, or is it just going to like the ONI sector only? Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff and I'm sure people will come across with lots of different ideas to try and benefit Star Atlas, but also try and benefit themselves, because they will already position themselves ahead of time to say, yes, I'm not going to buy anything, so or I'm not going to do this, so when this is passed, I'll be in a better position. And yeah, a whole bunch of stuff to be played here. Let's say we've created a 9-step procedure that will allow ample participation by all of our politically engaged members to have their voices heard. And on top of this, they're going to also, on the social front, there's going to be a platform for the DACs, the Decentralized Autonomous Corporations. It's going to be the guild registration application area where people will be able to do a whole bunch of stuff. Member management through a protocol that allows you to officially register your DAC before the Council of Peace and invite or exclude members. This is just like a normal guild function in any game. Creation of ranks and hierarchies within DAC, super important. Working together with other features to allow different levels of access to the DAC to DAC assets and spaces. So this is very interesting. Working together with other features to allow different levels of access to the DAC assets and spaces. So hopefully within the hierarchy of the DAC, you should have people that have access to specific places that other people don't have access to. So for example, if you were in Athea, we all did chip in to try and buy a land habitat. So I don't know what the current status of this is, if we are going to be limiting entry to people who contributed to this habitat. I don't think we will. I think everyone will be able to go in, but there should be like a special room or like a donations room that people should be able to go in and just have that sense of community there. Be like, yeah, we're the ones that actually pay for this. This is our room. Yeah, it's something simple like that, right? And of course, there'll be a creation of improved leaderboards that will also integrate DAC scores in the future. But that's the thing. What are the DAC scores? What are they measuring? Is it going to be how much value is in the DAC? How much VWAP of ships do you have? What claims do you have? How many crew members you have, how much money is in your wallet, how much Solana is in your wallet, all this sort of stuff. We're not sure what's actually going to be going in. Or even how much you have contributed to your faction's overall score, right? So we're currently in the phase of wrapping up the work on the DAC user experience, and we're hoping to align this release with Sage Tech Demo. So when is that? It's really hard to say. Sage Tech Demo is like a phase, and they're saying they're releasing it in different phases. So really, we're going back here to where they're saying it's going to be in 6 different places: movement, combat, mining, crafting, inventory. So do you think it'll be coming with movement and coordination systems and the scavenger hunt? No. It's going to be coming in way later, maybe around the mining or crafting area. So I would say months and months and months. Well, Sage is supposed to be, the first scavenger hunt is supposed to be coming in like a week or 2 or 3, right? Still don't think we're there. I haven't heard any rumblings in regards to that. All right, let's go ahead. This is supposed to be a quick video. My girlfriend wants to work out, so let's do this. Atlas Brew, what happened, politics, game structure, politics again, monopolies and essay, and of course the crew members. Now there is a bit of stuff in the foundation room about the crew members. We're going to go to that. But before that, let's have a look at the meat of this video, which is the actual product updates. What are they up to? What are they doing in the next couple of weeks? So this is for the showroom 2.1. Vegetation, we have the Karoo tree update and Akanut tree update. So we're getting 2 new trees, guys, or 2 updated trees, let's say. Dogfighting extension, concepting, and blockouts phase. Not sure what this will, all engineering updates will come out with 2.1 release. Cool. If a player wants to race multiple times in a row, they're going to be fixing the UI on the leaderboard. They're trying to implement the marketplace into the showroom. We've got some ship landing updates. There's a whole bunch of stuff they said about the ships. We won't go through each individual ship. It's all here. You can go ahead and read it. Gravity, ship movement components, refractor, and R&D. Refactor. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Train movement component, R&D, movement component for the ground racetrack. Voice chat updates, group chat updates, transferred to the world partition. Now, this is a big one. Remember, the showroom is a very tiny space, right? That's only like, I don't know, 1/20th, maybe 1/10 of the entire world, of the mud world anyway. So they're going to be putting this little tiny showroom, Verlan showroom, into a world partition, okay? So it's going to be much, much bigger. People will have a lot more room to race their ships around, especially if you have 1,000 people, you will need that space, right? So yeah, there's a huge world partition coming. We haven't seen what it looks like, but we've seen little tidbits. This is the place we saw that 3D modeling of the racetrack. That's one. We saw an extra like all the space outside of the showroom that people are getting to, but they're not supposed to. The Opal Jet flight model is in progress. Awesome. I want to race something else rather than the PSX4. Wheeled vehicle prototype. Wheeled vehicle prototype. We haven't really seen that, have we? We've seen the Maxhog, which has just got released, which has wheels. But we haven't really seen any other ships with wheels. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. They have a whole bunch of different updates for all the different ships. I don't think it was necessary to put all of the different things they're doing. Just say, special effects for the Floyd, Packlight, and Visa's Opod, and Floyd Liner, Solo. You don't have to list each individual tiny thing. Maybe they used that just to buff it up, right? Created special effects for medium-sized humans on different surfaces. Very interesting choice of words there. Medium-sized humans. Like there's going to be different-sized humans. Or like they have large-sized humans and small-sized humans. Not sure, right? The PSC C11 is currently going into the grey box sector. The BIOS ERP is starting the white boxing stage. I wasn't sure about this. The Miries Mud Oyster Tears updates Squid Octopus. What? Let's read that again. Miries Mud Oyster Tears updates Squid Octopus. Once again, what? Working on octopus skin shader effects. Now, I'm sure we saw this before. This was the octopus in the aquarium. I don't know why they're dedicating time to this. It's an octopus. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. But I don't know why the Mud, Oyster, and Miries are updating the Squid Octopus themselves rather than the team. I don't know if that's like a little typo there. Galactic Marketplace mockups. Remember, the marketplace is going to be in the showroom now, so you should be able to like take a ship for a ride and then buy it if you want. Character skin selection based on your wallet inventory is in progress. Yes, that means skins are coming, guys. There's a whole bunch of different skins on the marketplace that haven't been moving very well. New animation movements for characters is done. So amazing. We have been needing new animation movements for characters. I was specifically talking about the walking and the running. Cold wallet support for Galactic Marketplace is coming very soon. And the Thimble Lobby and the Thimble Airbike engine has 5 stages of speed. I didn't know we were actually having different stages of speed. It was just between, you had a mouse scroll wheel and you just scroll the toggle up and down. But now there's going to be 5 stages of speed. So not sure about this. Not sure where that's coming from, what the purpose of that is. Go ahead and look at Sage, which is what we all should be playing very, very soon and should have been playing a long time ago, right? Developed version 0 of in-game loot and reward mechanisms. Yes! Yes, that version 0 is going to be what the scavenger hunt is supposed to be. And it says developed, right? So remember, for the scavenger hunt, you're going to be able to pick up things. So that's basically loot, right? And reward mechanisms. So hopefully they've done all that on chain, which they said they have done on chain. It's just putting it into the UI, the front-end version, what you'll be able to see on the computer, rather than what's happening on the blockchain behind. Working on Starbase upkeep costs, continuing to integrate simplified warping to play canvas for the scavenger hunt, which includes sector warp UI, editing camera to match the intended designs, migrating systems, warping data to overview menu, finishing transaction manager, finishing up the LOD manager, a whole bunch of stuff they're doing. One thing they did do, though, they got the fleet cargo working on the thin client. Now, the thin client, if I understand the concept correctly, is that so they have the blockchain side built. They don't have the front end built. So they've done a thin client in between the middle for them to test out the blockchain side without having to have built the UI side first. So they have this thin client in the middle that allows them to do all of these different transactions and be like, it's just like a spreadsheet or something. So, click here and then that does that on the blockchain side. So they got it working on the thin client, added cargo transfer between fleets owned by the same player, added and removed cargo from fleets to and from the Starbase. These are all needed. All this stuff is needed, right? And of course, they implemented Atlas fee payer basic actions into the thin client. So what things you're going to be paying for Atlas? Probably the warp gates for one. If you have to go and... actually, what else do you have to pay so far in the Sage with Atlas? Not sure. Maybe just warping. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I remember. Upcoming activities. Develop the required features for the scavenger hunt. That's still ongoing. Star Atlas DAO, nothing really stood out for me, nothing to share. The graphic novel, nothing really to share. Episodes 4 is out, 5 is in progress. And the Play Star Atlas main page, the Galactic Marketplace, start sequence rewards are live. We know this already. I've done a video about it 2 times already. Power plants and mining drills will be available at a later date, guys, okay? We don't know specifically when they're going to come because they're not being used at all until we go to like Sage mainnet. And so it's not really a priority. That's what I say. Don't worry about these drops. They'll come later. Not a priority at all. What's in the pipeline? Score, Claim Stake app is coming, as well as player profile program integration, as well as the DAC platform. And that leaves us to the end of their update of what's happened. I hope I'll leave the link in the description. You go ahead and watch it yourself. You go ahead and read it yourself. And before we finish, I've got some information from the Foundation Room, which I think is worthwhile knowing. So this is a conversation between Michael Wagner and a few other people. So let's read a little bit and let's see what he's saying. Wagner's like, in a response to a question, particularly with the discounts, thought is that we'd likely release crew members in a not too distant future, coupled with the release of our mobile companion app. And PG Metaverse is asking, is it going to be before Sage or is it like 426? We don't really know. It'll be ready when it's ready. 426, you know the meme. Very likely to see crew members and mobile because I want to release 2 of them together. Hopefully they're going to use the mobile extension, try and manage your crew members. So they're trying to get multiple different people inside the ecosystem before the tech demo pre-release of Sage. So that means the mobile app is actually making good progress, right? But we all know, I'm not sure, most people know that it's super difficult to get apps even through the Apple App Store. Very, very difficult. Because Apple wants 30% of every transaction, which is not going to happen. So crew members will be the new characters similar to Sammy Banks as a sale from the team. And Michael Wagner's like, yes, they will be a sale from the team. Oh, how do you feel about that? Do you feel about buying crew members, more crew members? Remember, your ships already have crew members. Let's keep going to see. We have access to crew members. Will we have access to these crew members from the GAL sales to use in the companion app the same time other crew members can be used in the app? We're going to have to sort through that before launch. I don't have an answer yet. We have the ship configuration readily available. And when we do crew member distribution, that's likely to be a one-time event, which means drop crew members, components, etc., all your modules, etc. We continue those rewards on future ship sales following that date. But suffice to say, we haven't formalized a strategy on this yet. We're full speed ahead on current development as we wrap mobile development externally. Side note, preparing for the airdrop of items included with GAL ships is why Jacob spent so much time repairing and improving the tooling for the Star Atlas release items. And lastly, I've got a big wall of text here for you, this is an important wall of text, right? Boeing from AEP is asking, I gather from these crew member distribution rewards also means on a secondary market ship sales also, right? And not just primary market ship sales. So you'll take a snapshot of all the ships we have bought from developer or secondary, and that's the crew member drop, right? So he's asking, wherever you bought it from, will you get your crew members? Or does it have to be specifically from the team? Michael's like, correct. The specific drop will be a snapshot, not from the origination purchase like start sequence. Remember from claim stakes, when you bought from the team, you get airdrop of mining drill and power plant. This time, no, it's just if you have a ship, you will be getting all of that airdrop regardless of where you got it from. So whoever is holding it at the time of the snapshot will receive the rewards. We might even need to pause all marketplace activity for a period of time with a large notification that the bonus items were already dropped and sales only represent the ship hull, for example. Pepe, hey man, sorry, I haven't really said hello this whole time. I apologize. It's me, it's not you, and you're going to go away anytime now, so there he goes. Pepe, it's just Pepe. That one is going to be a significant effort. Snapshot, gumdrop, market pairs, plenty of information so people know what they are purchasing, what they will be purchasing following the event. Now, what's going to happen is when they do this airdrop, when they do this snapshot, after that, there will be most of the ships they sell won't have any components, won't have any crew members, may not have any components, may not have any modules, but may have components. I'm not sure on that last two there. But they're saying, you know, the ships they're going to sell after this event has been dropped onto your mobile app, it's going to be bare bones ships, okay? So someone's asking some further questions. Number one, is the game plan after that to sell the newer ships without the components? Number two, will new ships be priced accordingly, meaning less than Generation 1? Because if you're not getting all of this extra crew members, modules, components, is it going to be priced less? And number three, will all the ships be able to separate the components and sell them individually? Answer to number one is yes. So you will be able, so after the newer ships, is the game plan after that to sell the newer ships without components? Yes, they will be selling newer ships without components and crew. Number two, will the ships be priced accordingly? This was a weird answer, guys. The ships are priced accordingly now. You just get a bunch of bonus items for early participation and support. So, what is he saying? The ships they're going to be selling later on, it's always, it's difficult to say. The ships they're going to be selling later on are still going to be priced what they're priced, like the normal VWAP they want, but you won't be getting any crew members, any modules, any components, none of that. The ships we have now, because we have been early to Star Atlas, 2 years now, because we've been early to Star Atlas, we've been able to get all of this extra bonus stuff complimentary, right? That, I don't know if someone's going to come into the Star Atlas marketplace and buy a new ship for $2,000 that doesn't have any crew, doesn't have any components, doesn't have any modules, while they can buy a second-hand ship from the team for a VWAP VWAP price of $2K, but a 80% discount, and get it for like $300 or $400. Like, doesn't make sense. And number three, will the older ships be able to separate the components and sell them individually? That is a yes. You should be able to separate your crew, because once all of them are dropped, they're all separate NFTs now, right? You should have separate crew, separate modules, separate components, and this is where you can start trying to collect your ships and trying to beef them up if you want. All right, guys, so that's from the Foundation Room. I'm going to leave it there. A whole bunch of wall of text for you there. Really appreciate your time so far. It's been 30 minutes, nearly 30 minutes. I know people don't mind the time, but thank you for giving me your 27 minutes of time, and I'm going to leave you and love you. Ciao for now.